So for men, does body count matter? Like, I'm saying as like, you know, we're all adults and stuff like that. Like, personally, me, I don't ask body count. I don't want to know nothing about your past. I don't want to know nothing about what you did. I don't want to know, like, at all. Like, don't tell me shit. Like, I'd rather just go blind wolf and find out.
Roller Sterling, you guys got this one. I just went on a rant, so you guys go ahead.
I'll go first, Roller. Okay, I'll go first. Even if I wanted to know what your body count is, you're never going to tell me your truth.
Facts.
So
there's always a set number.
There's no way I can actually know for real what your body count is, right? However, so that's why we use like other social cues as an indicator of your body count. Like I said before, how flaky are you? Okay. How respectful are you of my time? How loyal are you after I've had sex with you? Do you stick around? Do you respect my time after the fact? Are you flaunting your ass on Instagram after the fact? Like, are you replying to dudes in your DMs after we've smashed? There's like things we can look for as a guy that tell us if I can take you seriously or not.
Right.
So.
I personally feel like men
shirts and stores. Like, I feel like shirts and stores.
I feel like merch. Y'all copy it.
Vibing next.
I feel like men for men that they care about body count. I personally do, because I feel like a woman like they could get with a man that has 100+ body count and they don't care. They're like, whatever, an experienced man. And I've heard that from multiple women. They're like, whatever, experienced man, whatever, I don't care, blah, blah, blah. But a man, like, you tell them like, yeah, I have like 15 people. What the fuck? You got 15 people? You've been ran through, you've been this, you've been that. And I really feel like that's not fair for women. Like, men can do whatever, and women like are devalued automatically. And I feel like it's because of, you know, by the fact that we are penetrated and not, you know, men like.
Well, life isn't fair.
Life is clearly, as a woman, it's not fair.
But like, you're trying to compare apples and oranges.
Yeah,
we're different. Like, I don't have some of the advantages in life that you have, and you have some of these advantages I have. I'm stronger than you. Okay. But I don't have your beauty, right? You can get
that's for damn sure.
You can, hey, fuck you. I'm professionally sexy, you bastard. I can't, like, you can get certain things as a young, attractive woman that I cannot get.
It's a conquest for men to get women. So it's like a prize. But for us to get men, like, you can go outside and find anybody today.
A woman getting sex is like a man lifting up a stone. Yeah. It's like it's a heavy rock. All right, done, easy.
Like, so that's why like a man's body count is like a source of pride.
We have to work for it.
Yep.
Yeah, and they hold it very like. But for women, it's like you can't really brag about that. It's like someone with high metabolism being skinny.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, and that's
like a skinny guy having abs.
Genetics.
Yeah, you're just like, yeah.
Rello?
Men and women are different. I don't know if you've noticed that. This is probably one of the most common questions you field here, and
on this podcast.
Probably.
So I want you guys to answer instead of us. We talk about this almost every show.
Men and women are different, and it's time we stop looking at the reason why you think it's not fair. The reason why you think it's not fair is because somewhere along the line, probably when you were much younger, and probably how old are you now?
20.
20. So obviously. Somewhere along the line, whether it was through popular culture, through your learning process, through music, through whatever, it's you've come to the conclusion that men and women are blank slate equals. That they should, like, what's good for the goose should be good for the gander. So if men can go out and have sex as much as they want, then women should be able to go out and do that too. And the problem is men and women are not blank slate equals. They are different different physically, different neurologically, different psychologically.
We broke this on our podcast, by the way.
Yeah, I talked all about
in detail. Studies are there.
Yeah, go check it out. Sorry. So for men and women, part of those differences is mating strategy. So for women, they tend to be looking for quality. Men tend to be looking for quantity, because it makes more sense, evolutionarily speaking, for men to be able to hit it and quit it, ejaculate and evacuate, get out of there as fast as possible, because in our evolutionary past, that was our best breeding strategy. Women's mating strategy is hypergamy, okay? Alpha fucks, beta bucks, okay? For men, it is unlimited access to unlimited sexuality, because the more children we get with every ejaculate, we can potentially mate with hundreds and thousands of women, really, if you can do that.
Yep.
And so for men tend to be what's called R-selected, meaning that they breed in number, like they spread the seed, right? For women, you can't do that because you've only got one cell that gets fertilized, and you have the higher investment cost when it comes to reproduction. So you're going to spend 9 months knocked up with a baby, and then you're going to, at least in our evolutionary past, speaking wise, you're going to spend at least 7 or 8 years raising that child from complete helplessness to being able to put food in its mouth, right? So to self-sufficiency before you can have a brother or a sister. Now, usually it happens like 4 years or something like now because we have modern medicine and convenience, but that used to be the way it was. Women have a higher threshold for finding the guy who's quality, who's going to exhibit being like very good looking, arousing, the guy you really want to bang, but he's also got to be the guy that has the 3 P's: protection, provisioning, and parental investment. He has to be the guy that's going to stick around and protect you while you're pregnant, because women are the vulnerable sex. And the reason why they're the vulnerable sex is because they have the higher investment cost when it comes to reproduction. So 9 months knocked up. I need my money. I need to, I need my child support payments. I need you to, help me with the pregnancy, that kind of stuff. That's the parental investment side for this century anyways. So for men, it's R selection. For women, it's K selection, meaning they're looking for quality. They're looking for somebody who's going to stick around. They're going to put investment into that pregnancy. And hopefully that's the way it's going to work. Now, today in modern times, finding that in the same guy is next to impossible. So that's why cuckoldry comes in, where you can have sex with the hot guy in the foam cannon party. You can get the hot alpha guy, get alpha seed, beta need, right? You mate with one guy, breed with that guy, and then convince the beta get
the sugar daddy to pay you $1,000 a month.
You tell it,
pay your rent.
Again, what is it? Chris Rock says, who tells the bigger lies? Women. It's your baby. Yeah, that's and why is that a joke? Well, we laugh at that because that's the truth of it. Is that makes sense. It has to be. I need that support. Because it's that vulnerability. It's not that you're thinking of that when you see the hot guy in the club and you go, man, I really want to fuck that guy. It's not about, you're not thinking, oh, I want to reproduce with him and have like children. And you're not thinking that far ahead. Yeah. That's the proximate cause versus the ultimate cause. The proximate cause is the hot guy in the club that you really want to get with. The ultimate cause is you're going to have his kid.
Yep.
And so what are you going to do with that kid once you have him? So the investment is always in your head, whether you're thinking of it or not. Most women and most guys aren't thinking of it either. It's not a conscious cognitive process. It's just you come to it, you cross that bridge when you get to it, sort of thing. So there's the investment costs that go into reproduction. So when we're looking at guys who want to be the guy who's going to stick around, they're trading off their mating strategy to accommodate your mating strategy. So why is pornography such a big deal? Why do we have online 4K streaming free pornography right here? I can go get it right now if I want to. Why is it free for me to go and do that? Because it's unlimited access to unlimited sexuality when it comes to pornography. That's what that's catering to. So when my strategy is I want to get with as many chicks as I can, but I can't because I'm going to have babies with you and till death do us part, and forsaking all others in sickness and in health, and rich or poor, or all the marriage vows. If I'm going to promise that means what I'm doing is I'm sacrificing my mating strategy of unlimited access to unlimited, like I could get with a lot of girls, but you're special and I really love you and I really want to have babies with you and we're going to have a life together and you do all that great stuff. I'm sacrificing my mating strategy to accommodate and to consolidate and optimize yours. The only stipulation is, well, you still got to bang me, right? Because I still want to have sex. And if I'm giving up, my mating strategy, I got to have that. But the most important stipulation, the kid has to be my fucking kid. Bam. And that's why
there's a kicker. That's why your value lowers, ladies, when you have sex with a lot of dudes.
And again, it goes back to the jealousy thing. It goes back to the mate guarding thing. Men have to historically, evolutionarily speaking, have always had to invest themselves and be obsessive compulsive about paternity. So when women say, oh, a real man takes care of other men's kids. No, that's a social convention that's meant to satisfy that optimization, because the guy she had sex with and bred with, is not the guy who's sticking around. So we've got to convince all these 80%ers. We got to convince all these beta males to think they're heroes and they're white knights and they're superheroes. Step up to I'm the dad who stepped up. I'm not the stepdad, right?
Yeah.
So that's the popular meme. That's the popular social convention to get those guys to optimize to the alphas you had sex with that you're having the babies. He's still sticking to his sexual strategy and nailing other chicks. It's the beta cuck, the blue pill guy that says, okay, baby, I'll be happy to step in and I'll help you take care of the kids. And suddenly he's the noble soul for having done that.
Yep.
And that's part of the mating mechanics of what we have right now. But for me to accommodate and to optimize a woman's mating strategy, I have to sacrifice my own. That's what I call the cardinal rule of mating strategies. For one sex to optimize their mating strategy, the other one has to compromise or abandon it.
Bam.
So when, like today, it's usually abandonment for men. Like men have to say, okay, forget it. I'm just going to stick with this one girl because that's their only option. They're not a porn star, man. They can't go and knock it out with a whole bunch of girls. So what they do is they fixate and say, okay, monogamy. This is my best shot at reproducing. And so even if I got to take care of some other guy's kid, the chances are that somewhere along the line, she's going to have my kid too. And it becomes the new form of a mating strategy for beta males. So that's why when women say, well, you're a superhero for knocking it out with a bunch of guys. Yeah, because he's sticking to his mating strategy and not accommodating your mating strategy. While at the same time, when women are, slut shamed or they you're loose for that. The reason it's not that you're loose or you're slut, it's you're a bad bet for paternity.
Yeah.
You're a bad bet for me saying that might not be my kid. And even if we have DNA testing and everything else, my evolutionary psychology, my lizard brain, my hindbrain still says, yeah, she's the town bicycle, and everybody gets a shot at it right there. And I don't know that if the kid's going to be mine or it's not going to be mine, even if that's not the cognitive thing that you're thinking. It's what your hindbrain is thinking.
Damn. Somebody clip that, please.
Yeah, that was probably one of the best explanations of why men can have sex with a lot of girls and women can have sex with a lot of dudes. At least when it comes to
and then the other
biology.
The other part of that is that men can separate their emotions from the sex act, whereas women, because of their mating strategy, have to invest emotions in that guy. You're going to stick around, right? You're going to be there for me. You're going to be there right now.
Yeah.
Now you're going to argue with me and say, well, it's no, today women are less repressed. They're more sexually open. They got OnlyFans. They can do this. Yeah, but right up until about 1965, when hormonal birth control got invented, that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
And so now we're kind of like, for the last 60
pushing back
years,
the clock a bit.
For the last 60 years, all bets are off. Hypergamy is unfettered right now, and here we are, 2021, and this is the result of it.
He is the author of The Rational Male, guys. Get the book, and he breaks this down in far more detail as to male and female sexuality and the differences there. Do you have something? You want to say something?
And also, I think you touched base on it at the end.